This is a preview from our texture control masterclass. We are going to wet set her hair using white perm rods and drying her under an Ionic hood hair dryer. The purpose of this texture control wet set is to align all of the cuticle layers to calm and smooth and redirect her natural curl pattern. We will be breaking and reforming her hair's hydrogen bonds. Let me use this diagram and animation to explain. The hair is primarily made of keratin strands, and what holds those strands together are chemical bonds. There are three primary bonds we deal with in hair care. That is the disulfide bonds, the ionic bonds, and the hydrogen bonds. In this shampoo and set texture control class, we are going to focus on the hydrogen bonds. Located in the cortex layer, hydrogen bonds are also ionic and they are plentiful. They make up to 1/3 of our hair's structural strength, but they are also really weak and they can be broken and reset by water and heat. A good example is when your hair is flat ironed, if you get caught in the rain and your hair gets wet and it reverts back to its coily texture, that's a perfect example of the hydrogen bonds breaking. That's why it's so important. The water you put on your hair, the shampoos you use on your hair, the leave-in conditioners, it really matters. This is the type of information we go deep into in our texture control masterclass because it really does make a difference. We have new technology and new information, and it starts with the water we use when we shampoo. That is going to break the hydrogen bonds. And when you hear me always talking about pointing out how I use an ionic hood dryer or an ionic blow dryer, that's because the bonds that are affected when I'm styling the hair are ionic bonds. And when you use ionic atoms to finish a state change, that alone leaves the hair healthier and shinier and smoother, and it really reflects light. Let me get back to our model. We use the classic 5-section parting to create blocks for us to place the rollers. We use the white perm rods and we place them vertically on her head. As you can see in the diagram, we made vertical roller placements. We started in the nape area, worked our way up, and followed the direction of the arrows for the roller wrap. We've used water and perm rods to refresh her natural look. We use the water to break down the hydrogen bonds and reform them to the shape of the perm rod. Right here in the fringe area, Americans call it the bang area. Here's a diagram of how we wrap the curls to the left at an angle. And here you see in the finished picture, you can pretty much visualize exactly where the rollers were placed. Just because the hair is natural, it doesn't mean the coils can't be directed for a more polished look. Now, this roller set will last up to 2 weeks, but I recommend shampooing and cleansing your scalp no less than every 7 days. She is a natural hair color level 2. The individual hair diameters are fine, and the hair density, that's how many hairs per square inch, is medium. Overall, her hair is healthy. We've just used some old-fashioned techniques, actually, a shampoo set, to refresh her natural look. Just because it's natural doesn't mean it has to look uncontrolled. She has a beautiful natural coil pattern. Unfortunately, about 1/8 of an inch of the ends are frizzy from past heat damage, but we've gotten around that. Look at these coils. They're directed, they're natural, they're shiny, and they'll get looser and looser as the days go by. All we did was finger comb the coils. You can look at one of the finger coil videos from our texture control playlist to see how we actually finger comb the curls. We would love to share with you all of the old-fashioned shampoo set roller placement techniques, as well as dive deep into how the bonds within our cortex affect our hair. I'm talking about the disulfide bonds, the ionic bonds, the hydrogen bonds. It's incredible. Come join us at beautywellnesshaircare.com.